Good morning, everyone. So it is Thursday. It is May 7th. Wow, okay. It's sunny out this morning and my lights are flashing around. Today we're going to be working on one of our parasols. This is the pen wiper. But first, I want to show you a couple things from yesterday. Mail came. I waited till this morning to open this, but there's straw in the house. Okay, so I've got some gray, some white, some green, some pink hiding back here. I got one walnut and a couple of those coppers that people love. And I got some more wire. So this will be good. I was originally planning on making a big order of natural straw, but it's out. So I have what I have, and after that, that's it for a while. So at least I was able to get these. I'm very excited that I got these at least. So yeah, I'm gonna try to balance hats and bonnets out of those. All right, so that was what came in yesterday's mail. I'm waiting 24 hours before I'm letting myself open things. Saturday's mail was beads. And if you saw in the blog post, I did my combs yesterday. And they seem to be pretty decently solid in there. I'm pleased. I'm debating on whether or not I'm going to put little beads on the very top. I might just do that. And my hair's not 19th century, but you can tell that'll definitely leave those beads showing. So I'm pleased with that. Deciding on the top beads, and then I'm also deciding on whether to try the pin hole thing. I'll decide on that. So we should get going because this might take a little bit. I've got too many things out. All right, so first, hopefully you've all found yourself a handle. If you need to file that down a little, I have just been using sandpaper. And I like to twist them back and forth. If you had a Dremel tool, you could do that too. I would not recommend this on a good crochet hook. That's an antique because you'll be damaging it. Right, the reality is some of these just aren't going to come to a point. I think this is one of the ones that's not. And by the way, my sandpaper's all gross because I did use it on my combs yesterday. All right, so we have our handle. Now, yesterday I said we needed one layer of wool. Well, I looked back and I'm like, nope, I need to have two. So I already cut up into triangles my outer wool, and I also cut a pink layer of there's two layers there, of a lighter weight wool. So I'm going to cut that into half. I'm worried I'm going too fast here. And then I'm going to cut the halves into their thirds. And these are going to go inside the big ones. I'm realizing it might be a little hard to see on camera because I'm using black and black. Now black is showing up as the most common color wool for inside of the pen wipers. The outside you can use different colors though. All right, so realizing my bright light's going down. I have a pile of thicker outer pieces and I have a pile of thinner inner pieces. All right, and I totally have a cat hair there. Oh, it's not a cat hair, that's an ant hair. All right, you can see I did pink these in two different ways. The thicker pieces I used the Van Dyke machine, And then the thinner pieces, I use just one of the waving machines. All right. Be proud of me. I did not bid on the pinking machine that was only $29 last night. I thought I did really well. I'm going to angle this down. All right, so I'm going to, before you get rid of your scraps, cut yourself a tiny circle too and pink that. That's about the size of my fingertip, okay? All right, so pair these little guys up. One thick, one thin. Now, of course, the silly thing is we're using 1.5 circles for each layer. So the reality is if you want to do 2 of these at the same time, there's less waste. All right. There we go. Set these guys aside. All right, so there we have 9 little piles. And I'm gonna hit pause because I forgot to bring over my thread. Alrighty, we got the thread. Sorry about that. Okay. So, hoping you guys can see this because I am doing black on black on black. I'm basically going to take each portion and fold them in on each other. So if you're a pizza person, you're going to do that whole New York style thin crust pizza fold. Okay, so we've got our 2 layers together like that, and you're going to fold them in on themselves. All right, so thin one goes to the inside. Okay, so it looks like that. Now I like to secure each portion with a simple whip stitch. You're working your way up to the top, and you got to get that point as flat and point-like as possible. If you want to, you can use your needle to kind of push that into place. Now, in the illustrations, you're going to see that this is not a complete point at the top. When I made mine, I found I wanted the point at the top. All right. So that's that one. Ignore the little fur. All right, so it's gonna look like that. Now we need to do that 9 times. So I'm gonna do 9 of these, and then I'll come back. Alrighty, so originally I was going to do all 9 of these, but then I realized I don't know how long I can let the machine, camera, phone pause. So I've done 3. I'll do the rest in a little bit, but I want to show you this next step, and then I'm going to stop and then do a second video for the day. Okay, so I have 3 of my pizza folded triangles here, okay? I'm going to take 2 of them, line them up, okay? And I already have my thread up here at the top. I actually do want to start up at the top, and I am going to sew down along the raw edge, and that leaves the folded edges out. So you're going to be going back and forth over the the same raw edge with a whip stitch several times by the time you're done. Now you can just run several stitches. Like if you lined these all up, all 9 of them, and run them all straight through, and then gather them in, that does work, but personally I don't find that to be tight enough. So I'm going to be doing these in bunches of 3, and then I'll put them together. All right. Now I made it all the way to the bottom. I'm going to add my 3rd one in here. Okay. Got 3. And work myself back up to the top. Make sure my points are lined up. You want this to be snug, but not too tight. Because what'll happen is if you go too tight, you're going to end up with a little bit of a curve. And while that's not the end of the world, it's not ideal. Okay. Almost to the top. Now I know there was a request to see how the pinking machines are set up and work. I'm trying to figure out how to set the camera up to do that. Thinking if I move my straw basket, I might be able to do that. All right. And I want my thread to end a little further down from the point. So I'm going to bring this down again and then tie off. It's already 62 degrees in here. It's never this warm this early. Lovely. It's all from the sun. All right, so there you go. There's 3 together. That's the folded side. This is what it looks like from below. And I was thinking, if you used larger circles of green wool, and instead of doing like 6ths, did 8ths, you could have a really cool tree. All right, so I'm gonna stop the video here. Make sure you follow ahead to the second video. I'll put them in the same post, okay? Yes, at some point I should reinvest in WeVideo, but it got bounced from the budget that would let me edit videos. It's actually a thing I do. All right, see you in a little bit.